only 3 points ahead of Liverpool. People getting onto how bad Liverpool are. There's only a 3 point gap between the two of us, right? And then I think Chelsea, I think it's 7 points, but we're playing Chelsea. Chelsea wins that, it's only cut down to 4 points. If Chelsea win that, we could find ourselves in a position, I can't remember what Liverpool's goal difference is, where we could be fifth by the weekend. We cannot have that, and it's a massive game. You know what this game means to me. This is my derby. This is my derby. Look, listen. We know in terms of league titles and the geography, the rivalry with Liverpool is obviously the biggest. We know in terms of obviously Manchester City is our rivals. But for me, this is the derby. Chelsea. I don't accept excuses to losing scumbags like Chelsea. But we cannot have the same performance that we had against Leeds. Cannot have the same away performance that we had against Newcastle.
Agreed.
Cannot have the same away performance that we had at West Ham. Cannot have the same away performance that we had against Bournemouth. It has to be better. We have to get that Arsenal performance away at the Emirates to try and win this game.
Predictions.
Go on.
2-1. 2-1 United. You're laughing. Listen, I'm being hopeful, man.
No, I'm not even laughing because you're being hopeful. I'm laughing.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Nights of the Round Table Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy ST in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Like, I'm obviously still recovering, coming back from the motherland, my little sabbatical. I'm great. Man United have come to disappoint me, but we're going to go into that. Yeah, I know.
Honestly, bro. Like, listen, people. First of all, we are back. Apologies. I think I got some days mixed up. Obviously, if you watched the last poddy towards the end, I said that I was going to be back with two doing boxing talk on Monday, forgetting that United were playing Leeds on the Monday. So I do apologise if you were expecting a boxing/fight talk and it didn't materialise. That is the reason why. But yeah, ST and I are back. Not Footie Chat, United talk. It's been a while. I think the last time we did one of these in terms of just being a United talk was when Carrick was actually appointed. But we had to bring it back. Two reasons. One, because we haven't done it in such a long time, and the other is because we've got so much to talk about when it comes to Footy Chat that we just had to break it up a little bit. But as ST said, we're gonna be getting into what has transpired with United on Monday, and obviously look ahead to what United have coming up this weekend. But as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, and say the time, share. We are here, and don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. ST, look, all right. I'm trying to think of where to start. Obviously, it's been a run. We have to say that. Let's get the positives in. It's been a run under Carrick. We're no longer in the depressed state that we had.
No.
We were under Amorim. Came in all guns blazing in the first three games actually, and then it's kind of, I want to say it's kind of balanced itself out to a certain extent, because obviously you and I understand that Carrick isn't one of the elite managers, and B, that this United team, although they're not as bad as what they were under that terrorist, they're not as great as what they are allowing United fans to believe based on what happened at the start. And I think there's no better example of that than what happened on Monday night against Leeds in the Roses derby. Obviously, Leeds winning that game 2-1. Two goals from Okafor. The goal back was from Cass. Obviously, Lissandro getting sent off for playing with Calvin Lucy's hairband. But ST, first things first, your thoughts on that match? Because obviously we know, obviously a lot of people saying, obviously we hadn't played in 3 weeks. There was a lot of ring rust. Leeds obviously got to play in the FA Cup, which they got through against West Ham. So, what are your thoughts on how the game transpired and what United looked like?
Um, Still a bit of the same similar issues to what it was before, but I will say this as well. Man United honestly did look a bit rusty, if I'm being honest. I guess at this stage, and it's our fault, we're not in enough cups for us to be playing the amount of games that we need to be up to scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So it did look like this. The players looks leggy. If I'm very honest, they didn't look sharp. I thought Leeds had a very good game plan. They stuck well. They played very well. Man United's midfield, we always go to it, was a complete problem. When Ugarte is on the pitch, boy, um, ball retention 0 out of 10. So, and
Sorry,
obviously,
ST, because I haven't heard it. Sorry to cut you off. I haven't let you do it. But did we get a reason as to why Kobe wasn't there? Because I haven't heard anything.
I think he was injured. I
Okay.
think so, but that was what it was. But there wasn't really any reason. But I think he was
Okay.
injured.
Okay.
He would have done better than Ugarte
Oh
because
yeah, obviously.
because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't really say this about a lot of players, but I hope he goes. Like
Oh, he needs to.
he needs to. It's
Oh, he
it's
needs
it's
to.
bad. But anyway, I also thought our defense wasn't great as
Oh,
well.
no.
Like Euro has been put into situations where he's drowning and he needs someone to help him. And to be honest, he's looking at the shadow of defender of that we thought he was. Like listen, he obviously has talent, but it should have been done the way that, for example, how Saliba has developed. Go to a different club, learn your trade because he's still very young, and then put back into the firing line. I feel like he is not ready for this. And I think the defense is, at this moment in time, was not great yesterday. Mazraoui usually is good. He hasn't played in a long time for us.
Yeah,
He was not good.
it showed. It
And
showed that he hasn't played.
it showed. And the other rest of the defenders, like, everybody was off it a little bit, if I'm being
Mm,
honest. Um, we lacked creativity.
standard.
Again, that's standard Man United due to the midfield as well, due to the strike force. Cunha was annoying me a lot because he was he was doing the normal running into blind alleyways, not passing the ball when he needs to. Like, Ahmad looks a shadow of himself. I think, like I told you before, I think I spoke to you in previous poddies. He is suffering from what I call is defending so much. So when you defend a lot, the basis of your attacking prowess, you're not really practicing it, if you understand what I mean. Because he was
Mm,
playing right back so much, he's struggling. He's not attacking wise sharp. And
mm,
um I know it's been a while, but then first of all, Man United haven't played enough games, and secondly, Amrin was playing him wing back for a long time, so that affects him. So that's why I think he's at, and I think he's not sharp as well. We played Sesko, and Sesko clearly isn't a striker that should be starting in a game like this because I feel like Leeds they have very very big centre backs.
they
So you
bullied
need
him.
yeah. So what you need is even though this guy hasn't been on form, Mbeumo will at least run in behind or some sort of striker that runs in behind will have caused
Hmm.
them problems. Um, yeah. So Man United for long spells of the game were the second best team. Casemiro got us back into the game. I know Lichandro got sent off. It was stupid. However, I personally don't think it was a red card. However, I know I would like to ask you if you think it was a red card. I don't think it was a red card, but I understand why the referee gave it. Like, it's one of them ones where he didn't need to do all of that. I mean, I don't think he meant, I think it was soft, but at the end of the day, the reasoning for the red card, I can understand in it. But I don't think
Mm.
personally it was red card. I don't think it was enough for him to like send him off. I did think it was a yellow card, but that's it. And to be honest, even without the red card, we were second place, man. So
Mm.
I have no qualms. We just move on to next week. It's just that we're kind of lucky that the results at the weekend favored us, so we haven't taken such a hit because Chelsea lost. and it's 5 places for the Champions League. So
Mm.
we move. That's all I can say. We have to just move on and have a better performance.
Piss poor performance.
Yeah,
Leeds, the first half, bopped us off the park.
yeah,
They should have been 3-4 up. It
agreed.
was so bad. Nobody was on it. Nobody was on it, and you've been through it. Um, Lenny Yoro, I completely agree with you. I think the only thing that I will say is that we've had so many injuries at centre back. Maguire being out for long periods of time, Martinez being out, always being out. That we couldn't afford to let him go out on loan because we needed defensive cover. But he hasn't looked anywhere near the standard that he needs to be in the Prem. And you're right, he needs to go out on loan. Um, Agate, enough said. There's nothing that needs to be said. Bruno, absolutely nowhere. And as you said, Sesko shouldn't have started in this game. And I know what's going to happen in the next game when they get to it. And I think in the next game he should start. But Buemo should have started because I had a feeling that Leeds were going to play three at the back. And it's just ironic that Leeds played the three at the back, the same system that terrorist wanted to implement and completely bopped us off the park. So that tells me two things. One, obviously the coaching that terrorist was doing wasn't good enough. But two, more importantly, when you've got players that are adaptable, they can do anything. You wouldn't look at Leeds 11 and be like, oh yeah, they can play three at the back and play the way how they played. You wouldn't look at that on paper, but they proved it. They proved it on the pitch. But so yeah, Carrick got his team selection wrong. But ST, this is not a one-off. Since I would say since before the penalty that Maguire gave away against Fulham,
Mhm.
we haven't played well since then. I think the Man City game was absolutely outstanding because we dominated that game. The Arsenal game, we went toe to toe. And the Fulham game, we were comfortable. But we haven't since before that penalty by Maguire. I think since then till now, I don't think we've looked anywhere near good. And I think a part of that is teams have figured this out. If we don't allow them to get in behind, then they're going to struggle because they haven't got that creativity. But even more so, like when you look at it, obviously the game against Aston Villa, the sending off changed that game. The game against Everton, we kind of scumbagged that one. It was on the counter attack. The game again, even Spurs, before the red card, you would say it was pretty even that game. So it's one of them ones. And then obviously we went and got beat by Newcastle, who Newcastle had 10 men. So it's been up and down, and I'm not impressed by the football that I'm seeing at all.
Mhm.
I'm not impressed by the standard that I'm seeing at all. And look, it's not entirely Carrick's fault. Need to understand, and we had to get, and the reality check was not just for us to a certain extent, but more so by the deluded United fans to understand that these players are not the levels that they are required to be. So I think we need to be realistic in that aspect. But the way how Leeds bopped us off the park concerns me heavily because I was like, if Leeds can do that to us, a lot more other teams can do that to us. And I think finally on the Leeds thing, did someone forget to tell the players that this was a derby?
Yeah,
Someone must have forgot to tell them that this is a derby. People seem to forget that Manchester United and Leeds is a derby. It's a Roses derby. It's not just in football, it's in all aspects, Leeds and Manchester. In cricket, it's called the Roses derby, right? This was a derby and the United players did not turn up for it at all. And that is criminal. Criminal in itself. Leeds hadn't won at Old Trafford in the leagues, I think, since the 80s. I think the last time they won the FA Cup, I think it was 2011, in the FA Cup when Jermaine Beckford scored. in the FA Cup third round. So they don't come here and win, and we just rolled the red carpet out for them with a white carpet. And if you're a Leeds fan, and just said, "Here you go," you might as well walk all over us. So that performance really concerns me, and that then leads us, ST, into the game at the weekend. Because when we look at the table, joint third with Villa, when we had a chance to extend the gap. Only Villa in fourth, sorry. Yeah, Villa in fourth. Only 3 points ahead of Liverpool. People getting onto how bad Liverpool are. There's only a 3 point gap between the two of us. Right? And then I think Chelsea, I think it's 7 points. But we're playing Chelsea. Chelsea wins that, it's only cut down to 4 points. If Chelsea win that, we could find ourselves in a position, I can't remember what Liverpool's goal difference is, where we could be fifth by the weekend. We cannot have that, and it's a massive game. You know what this game means to me. This is my derby. This is my derby. Look, listen. We know in terms of league titles and the geography, the rivalry with Liverpool is obviously the biggest. We know in terms of obviously Manchester City is our rivals. But for me, this is the derby. Chelsea. I don't accept excuses to losing scumbags like Chelsea. Right? And look, they've got their own problems. But my whole thing is, ST, is that first thing I want to ask you before I say myself. The performance has to be 10 times better than what it was against Leeds. How do we approach this game? How do we go about it? How do we find a way to pull off a victory against this Chelsea team? Bear in mind, Enzo's back from the ban.
Yeah.
Caicedo will be playing. And I do believe Reece James could be fit for this game, which changes a lot. So how do we go about trying to win this game?
With the midfield, we have to hook Kobe's back in this midfield, first of all. I don't know what his injury is like, but somehow we have to play in this midfield. We need, ironically enough, it sounds mad, we may have to start Sesko up to cause those.
He's not going to. Not after what happened against Leeds. He's not going to. But
He'll
I
start.
agree. I think Sesko should start against those two, their centre backs. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who their centre backs are. I think he can get joy out of the two of them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. I think in Mbemo, I think in terms of pace, I think they will match in Mbemo for that because the two defenders are pretty quick.
But to be fair, remember what Anthony Gordon did for them at Newcastle?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. But I would personally play Sesko up.
Yeah, so would I.
But we need to attack that defense. That defense is vulnerable, and the keeper is also very vulnerable as well. So we need to actually go for their midfield, like attack them, because I don't think they're weak enough. Defensive wise, I do still think we should play Mazzari.
I think Dallo has to play.
I don't know, man.
Dallo has to play.
Don't know, man.
Dallo has to play. I know. Look, don't get me wrong. If Maz was like Matt Sharp, I agree with you. But I think in this instance, I think Dallo's been playing the majority of the games. I think he has to start. I think Dallo has to start. For me, obviously Maguire's back, so he'll start. It's just a case of what are you saying? Do you play Euro or do you play Heaven? Because me personally, I'm saying play Aiden Heaven.
I'm playing with Heaven. Heaven seems a bit more ready for English football.
And the composure on the ball as well.
Yeah, so to be fair, Hayden played Evan Hayden played some matches from Arsenal, didn't he? A couple of matches, right? You can tell he's a bit more composed and ready to actually be in this league. So I would play him. Obviously I know Alessandro is going to be suspended, but
yeah,
who would you put next to him?
Who?
Heaven.
No, Maguire will be back. So Maguire starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna have to be those two. You know what? They
Mm.
would make a good partnership as well. To be fair,
Yeah, I think the balance of Maguire and Heaven is better than. I think
yeah,
Euro
you're
needs
right.
to be taken out of the firing line.
Yeah,
I think Euro needs to be taken out of the firing line. Obviously, I agree with you. Hopefully, Cobby's back, but ST, if Cobby's not back, what do we do?
I'm very worried, you man. I don't even know what to tell you. Um, bro, I don't even know what to tell you.
Because
Um,
because for me, I just want to say something, and I realized Martinez is suspended because I
yeah,
would have put Martinez in the
he was
midfield.
in the midfield, but he's
Um,
suspended. That's the issue.
so there's only one option, ST. Bruno has to play in the midfield with Cass,
So
and I don't.
an amount, an
Do you
amount
know
in there,
what? Actually, do you know what?
and then put Cunha in the 10.
No, I agree, but yeah, I can't have Ugarte playing. I
No,
can't. I was just thinking away from home, maybe, but I can't. I can't.
no,
I can't. I can't have Ugarte.
no.
But ST, the problem is, this is the
Yeah, go on.
problem. I can't have Bruno playing in the two with Cass
Yeah,
because
I
he's
agree.
just gonna
Not
leave
disciplined.
Cass.
Not disciplined enough. Yeah,
He's gonna leave Cass, and I'm like, I'm sorry. That Chelsea midfield of Enzo, Caicedo, and Cole Palmer,
this is all over.
as bad as form as they are, it's still better than ours.
Yeah, it is.
It's still better than us. And even if Kobe plays, it's still better than ours.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, but I think he has to take the roll of dice and just play Bruno with Cass, play Cunha in the 10, bring in Buemo on the left, Sesko and Ahmad. I don't want to see Mason Mount anywhere near this team. I don't want to see Mason Mount anywhere near this team. If he needs to come off the bench, so be it.
I'd
But
rather play Mount than Guy though. To be fair.
yeah, I know, but Bruno's going to play back there. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that team's too open, man.
it
Cass ain't got
is.
the legs.
No,
Cass ain't got the legs. But I think it's the only choice. It's
it's.
it's it's it's, it's either that or play Agate, and we can't.
I can't. I'd rather play that team than
Yeah,
Ugarte. I'm
I'd rather
sorry.
play that team.
I'm
But
sorry,
that
Ugarte
team
can't play.
can cause.
I was gonna say I can't have Ugarte in this team, but as you said, that team that we've just said,
Can cause them problems.
yeah, defensively not great, but at the end of the day, we just have to go for it. They'll cause that defense problems. Chelsea
Listen,
defense.
listen. We're not Man City. I completely get it. We're not Man City. We're not in the form that Man City's in, and Man City got better players. But we watched Everton bop them off the park. I know it was at their new ground, but even Newcastle, who are struggling, right, did a number on Chelsea. This Chelsea team are vulnerable, and they could be there for the taking. This team, when you look at it, yeah, this is a team that have lost their last three league games, haven't scored a goal. They've lost five of their last six, if you include the two PSG games. It's only Port Vale that they beat, right? They haven't got any confidence
Mm-hmm.
at all. The fans are turning on them. They've lost the Port Vale game, but was at home. But they've lost three of their last four home games. PSG, Newcastle, PSG at home, and then City at
Man
home
City.
last
Yeah,
week. They are there for the taking.
agreed.
And you got to understand as well, ST, the pressure that they're under, because they're under pressure to cut the gap to 4 points with us. But you got to remember, Everton and Brentford are only 1 point behind them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think what was it? I think between Chelsea in six and Newcastle in 14th, the gap is only 6 points.
Yeah,
So they have got a huge amount of pressure. And how better for us to deal with it than to beat them at Stamford Bridge and make the gap 10 points between us and Chelsea. Effectively, not I wouldn't say cementing our place, but effectively saying Chelsea
killing
can't
them.
catch us.
Yeah,
Chelsea can't catch us. Um, But ST, it's a ground that we don't like going to.
No.
Can you tell me the last time that we won at Stamford Bridge in the league?
2015?
Oh no, it's not that long ago. It's not that long ago.
Was it 20? Was it? No, sorry, it was 20. Was it 2019? 2020? One of them. I think it was 2019.
2020.
Oh,
Under
yeah.
Ollie. Under
And
Ollie.
yeah,
And
sorry,
Fat
it was
Frank was their
the arena.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 2-1?
No, it's 2-0.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. It's a long time.
Scorers. Who do you think scored? One of them still plays for us now.
Crazy. Well, I know Rashford scored against them.
Not in this game.
Okay.
One of them still plays for us now and is currently with us now.
Let me guess, Bruno.
Nah.
Sure.
Nah.
Fucking hell. My head is gone. I don't know who.
Maguire.
Oh, he scored. Oh, God. Maguire. And
Maguire.
who's the other one?
Martial.
Martial. Loved to go against Chelsea, to be fair.
Yeah, he did. So that's what I'm saying, ST. It's a ground that we don't like going to. We don't like going there. But it is an opportunity for us. But on Chelsea, ST, because obviously we're seeing them go through problems. Is Rossini going to get the Celtic treatment? Do you believe that Rossini is going to get the Celtic treatment, bro? Because we understand, not for that reason, but we understand that Chelsea fans didn't want this guy. We know it was an inside job. He's a yes man, but he's under immense pressure, and it's a situation where in which he could, if he doesn't make Champions League, or at least win the FA Cup, do you think that Chelsea will hand him his P45? Or do you think because it's an inside job, they'll stick with him no matter what happens at the end of the season?
No, I think I'll get rid of him at the end. I think they're just, if he doesn't meet their objectives, what they'll do is Chelsea will probably get rid of him at the end of the season, not before. Because there'll be no point of getting rid of him before in their sense if they don't meet the objectives. But if they don't get Champions League or if they don't do great, again, I think he'll go at the end of the season. So not exactly the Nat Wilford Nancy treatment of Celtic. It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but obviously, yeah, we're terrible people. But you know what? We both had our reservations about Rosinha. He did a decent job at Strasbourg, but I remember both of us the first time we saw him manage and the mistakes he did. I'm like, no, because of Chelsea won't be as patient as other clubs. But secondly, the mistakes that you were making were very, very, very bad mistakes. Like that terrorist made less mistakes than he did at the time. That's saying something. But I do think I'm worried for his job. I think if they don't meet their targets, he's gone.
What do you make of the Enzo situation? Obviously, he got done for talking about Real Madrid and whatnot. But to suspend a key player for 2 games, obviously, look, the Port Vale one, it's whatever, because they won comfortably without him. But he could have made a difference in the City game. I do remember in the game at the Etihad, he had a massive impact on that game. And I think even last season, in one of those games, he had a big impact as well. He seems to be a key player for them in big games. So what do you make of that situation? Is it a case of you're cutting your nose off to spite your face for a senior, or did he need to make an example? Did he need to make a statement? Because there's so many doubts about him and being a manager. He's obviously having to earn the respect of the players. It's not being given to him. Do you think he needed to do it? or should it have been dealt with in-house, or even a one-game ban, just ban them for the Port Vale game and said come back for the City? Do how do you assess that situation?
I think it should have been one game. I think even though he said he likes the City of Real Madrid, it wasn't worse than what Cucurella was saying.
Yeah, Kokovar was doing the mad thing.
Yeah, and he didn't get suspended, so he's Enzo will probably be thinking, and he had every right to think so. Right, I talked about wanting to eventually go to Real Madrid. Sure, I shouldn't have said that,
Mm,
but at the same time, it's my desire to go to Real Madrid. Ronaldo said that when he was here at
mm.
Manchester United, we didn't do that. Other players have said they wanted to go to bigger clubs, but Lukaku said it and didn't get suspended and stuff like this. I get why you suspended it for one game to say your mind's not in it, you're thinking about Real Madrid. I get it, but 2 games is a bit much personally, especially after Cucurella didn't get any sort of sanction, and he was worse. He was insulting the board. He was insulting this. He doesn't like the transfers. He didn't like all of this.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy that like when you think about it, like it's make it make sense. But is it a situation, ST, where in which with Enzo, because he's got Caicedo, Lavia, Reece James could fill in there, obviously Cole Palmer, Andre Santos, he had cover in those positions. Whereas at left back, he hasn't got any cover. So he
that is
kind of
something.
needed Kokava.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think there was a bit of that in there. Me personally, I think a fine and a one-game ban would have been enough,
yeah,
especially when when you're trying to listen. You've got to make you've got to make Champions League, because when you look at Chelsea's finances right now, they're
they're not
not
great.
saying a lot at all. And then I just saw something that one of the men then put in the group chat about I don't know how true this is, but it's come from a Chelsea fan channel. So saying that Chelsea haven't filled their stadium since the start of the season. So there's a lot of disillusion with the fans. Chelsea fans obviously aren't happy. I think there's a protest supposed to happen before the game against Manchester United. So there's a lot of unrest at Chelsea Football Club, and obviously we're enjoying every minute of it. But it's only going to be enjoyable if we go there and get the 3 points. We have to win this game. This is the game. We put Chelsea out of our path in terms of making Champions League football and put them back where they belong, which is in the second tier or lower of Europe. I hope this is the derailment of them. We go there, make it 10 points. Brentford and Everton go above them, and we put them. I don't want them. I don't want them not to get European football. I
They're
want
in
them
the
in the
conference.
Conference League. I want them back where they belong, where they were last season in the Conference League. That's where they belong to be. Scumbag clubs like this need to be in the Conference League,
I love
right?
this.
Conference
You're
League
big.
after they won the summer beach body cup in the summer. World champions, yeah, no, bruv. Get back in the third tier of European football where you belong, bruv. Scumbags belong down there. That's where they belong. And then hopefully Leeds can do them in the FA Cup as well, which we'll preview next week,
Why
people.
did you like? Don't get me wrong. I explained to you. I explained to the viewers why I hate Arsenal so much. Why is it that you have this real hatred for Chelsea? I get it. Like, it's a scummy club.
They're a scummy club. Obviously, they're a racismo club. Obviously, if you know, you know. Um, the way how they just came up out of nowhere, Abramovich, who I saw his vision when he came into Chelsea Football Club, but they were nothing. They were bought for £1, and then they're trying to move like they're one of these big boys, one of the big players all of a sudden. And then obviously John Terry was the main reason,
Fair
and
enough.
we know what he is. So that's the reason why I hate them with the fans
Yes,
and their
yes.
fans. Their fans are so self entitled for a club that only started winning things just over 20 years ago. And I know obviously you could talk about Manchester City fans, but I don't think City fans have so much self entitlement as Chelsea. And the disrespect they've done to so many managers before them, including Don Carlo, Gus Hiddink, just to name two. Like everything about that club is just scum. Everything about that club is just scum, and
I agree.
they deserve to be in the pits of hell. That's where they need to be. back
So
down the bottom.
what you're saying, Dennis Wise and that, yeah?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Don't be wrong. They've had players who I loved. Obviously, you know my love for Didier Drogba. Obviously, Michael Essien. They've got players that Eden Hazard. They've had players that I've admired a lot, but now they're still scumbags, bro.
I hate
Um,
it.
but so we've named the team ST, but we know the Chelsea team. If Reece James is back, he's going to start.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're expecting I think it's going to be Fofana and Tosin at centre back.
it will be.
Obviously, Kokova, Enzo
And Gusto,
Fernandez, Caicedo, Cole
yeah,
Palmer, Neto,
João Pedro.
Esteval, and then João Pedro up
Yeah.
front. Because he dare not play crap Nacho or start him anyway.
Oh, I'd love him to. If he
I'd
did
love
it,
him to. I'd love him to start crap Nacho, but he's not going to.
because if he does,
I
then
wish he would. I wish he would start crap Nacho. But obviously, have you seen what's going on with crap Nacho? Did you
yeah,
see the thing about him saying he had regrets about United? Apparently, he's taken all his Chelsea stuff off of social media. I don't know how true that bit is.
he is.
Um, um, Bro, like, nah, stay there.
We told
It's
you.
the best piece of business we've done in a very, very long time, ST. You know, Cooking with Rash is always like, we never sell players on for money. This is a coup, especially after they did what they tricked us with that bum Mason Mount, tricked that other bald fraud to bring Mason Mount in. This is beautiful stuff, bro. But,
And then what's it called? Cooking with Rash is always defending Ganacho. I'm like, and
oh,
I know,
yeah.
I'm like, why?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. But, ST,
You said the team. You want us to do?
predictions. How do we get a result? What do we need to do to get a result in this game in terms of the tactics? Because for me, we have to be compact. We cannot have as many holes as what we had against Leeds because Cole Palmer will eat. I don't care
Yes.
how bad he's been, he will eat. João Pedro's probably been their one shining light. He's been very, very good. Um, I am concerned about Esteval versus Luke Shaw. I'm concerned about that battle. But at the same time, I'm hoping Sesko play. Obviously, we name what we think is going to happen. I think the only change from that team personally, I think two changes. I think he's still going to start Lenny Euro, which I think is
And he's
wrong.
gonna start in
And he's
Bruno.
going to start in Buemo and
Yeah.
probably Agate
Yeah.
in the midfield. And I think that's wrong. But if that is the team ST, how do we get about it? How do we go about it? This is, sorry, one more thing. I'm going to let you talk. The other reason why I say play Sesko is that with that press, if Agate is in the midfield, we need to go long. So that's the other reason why I play Sesko. But go.
No, so in terms of the team, obviously the men's in goal. It would have to be Shaw at left back.
Yeah.
I'd play Heaven personally with Maguire, and then right back. You say Dallo, I say Mazraoui, but we can decide on that. Midfield, it would have to be Casemiro. I'm sorry, I just can't have Ugarte there.
Mm.
Bruno and Cunha in the 10. Ahmad on the left. And Bremo in the middle. Who'd be on the right? So no, Ahmad on the right and Bremo in the middle. Who am I
So
forgetting?
you'd have to play Mason Mount then.
Oh, sorry. Put Mason Mount in the. Sorry, put Casemiro and Mount in the double pivot. Such a stinky. I
Oh
know, bro. Bro, it's so
no,
stinky,
bro,
bro. 1
no,
second, it's stinky. It has to, like, I can't have Ugarte there. I'm sorry. I can't have Ugarte there.
bro. I'm playing Bruno there.
And
I'm playing Bruno there.
I'm I'm playing Mount there. Stinky as it is, yeah. It has to, like, I can't. I'm sorry, Ugarte. I can't trust. And Bruno has no discipline. Mount, as bad as he is, has discipline. And then for
This
Cunha
is
on the
all the
right,
problems that Kobe causes, bro.
yeah. Because I don't know if Kobe will be there. If Kobe is there, then Kobe comes in.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so because it just alleviates all this stress um, in the midfield. But I think the key in this game, if Sesko starts, he's got to hold the ball up, bring other players into play. If he doesn't, we're looking at Mbuemo to stretch that Chelsea team.
Mhm.
Ahmad will have to like Kokovar's not a bad defender. He is actually he's a good defender. I think the change will come out on the other end. Whether it be Goose, if it's Reece James, we're fucked. If he's playing right back against Cunha, Cunha's not getting past him. But it's for Cunha to pick up the pockets. He wasn't picking up the pockets that he normally does. He was playing very wide against Leeds, and I don't know why.
But when he
Um,
came inside, he was making the wrong decisions.
yeah, so he's
So
got to do better, and Buemo's got to stretch him, and we've got to try and get in behind. I think we have to go long. I don't think we can play.
no,
It depends on who's playing in the midfield, but I think that if Chelsea will try and squeeze us
yeah,
if we try and play out from the back, and
yeah.
I'm not for it at all. Um, from a Chelsea perspective, I just think that they just have to turn it up a notch. Obviously, they've got to understand that we're not Man City. So
Yeah.
the way how they played in the first half was decent enough and will cause us problems. But we've just got to go out there, have no fear. But my fear is the lack of tactics that we have and the fact that we're so reliant on space in behind.
Yeah.
If Chelsea can contain us and squeeze us, we're going to have big problems. And when you look at it, ST, obviously we've got Chelsea, then we've got Brentford, then we've got Liverpool. Three of our rivals that are trying to get in the Champions League. So we've got to get points from all of these to try and keep them at bay. And then after that, we're away at Sunderland, at home to we're away at Sunderland, who could be battling for Europe, at home to Forest, who are in a relegation battle, and then our final game is away at Brighton, who could also be looking for Europe, but more importantly, we never win there. So we have to get as many points as we can. We have to wrap this up
Mhm.
as soon as possible. So important. That's why this game is so damn important for us. We have to get a result. Look, I want to win this game, but if we can come out of it not losing, I can accept that. I can fully accept that. And as we say, in terms of Michael Carrick, this will tell us these next three games against the three of the teams that are in the hunt for Europe, especially Champions League, will tell us what we need to know, and then it will make the decision for the board in terms of whether they keep him or not. But we cannot have the same performance that we had against Leeds, cannot have the same away performance that we had against
Agreed.
Newcastle, cannot have the same away performance that we had at West Ham, cannot have the same away performance that we had against Bournemouth. It has to be better. We have to get that Arsenal performance away at the Emirates to try and win this game.
Predictions.
Go on.
2-1. 2-1 United. You're laughing. Listen, I'm being hopeful, man.
No, I'm not even laughing because you're being hopeful. I'm laughing because my passionate outcry, and you know what I'm gonna do. But I think it's gonna be 2-2. I think it's
Oh,
gonna be
fair enough.
2-2. I think we're gonna get out with a draw. I'm not gonna
I don't
predict
think
it.
we'll lose, if I'm being
And
honest.
I don't. Listen. Stranger things have happened when
Yeah.
it comes to go. And remember, we don't win there. But if we can take a point, I'll take a point out of there, and we move. But then it means we have to beat Brentford and Liverpool at home. We have to, but we have to get out of these next three games the minimum requirement
6 points.
6 points. No,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. I say 5.
Okay.
5
So
points
one win and two draws.
one win and 2 draws.
Okay. I say 6, if I'm being honest. But okay.
Me personally, and that's only because of our form right now. Realistically, ST, it should be 7.
I don't
2
think.
wins
Yeah.
and a draw. 2 wins and a draw. So we should be beating. If we can beat Chelsea, we're on our way. If we can beat Brentford, and then obviously the derby against Liverpool, I want 9 from 9. But
Of course.
at the
You have
bridge,
to be
I'll take the
realistic.
point. I'll take the point at the bridge if we go and beat Brentford and Liverpool at home. Because this is the thing, ST. It's in our hands, and we're playing teams around us So if we beat them, these next 3 games are 6 pointers.
Mhm.
They are 6 pointers. We have to go and get it done. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap up there. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the Leeds game that took place and that fast. Let us know what you think about Martinez's red card. Oh yeah, you said to me what I thought.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
they're trying to clamp down on hair pulling. What I will say is that Martinez shouldn't have been pulling his hair in the first place. That's the first thing.
Yeah, of course.
Just don't do the stupid crime. What I will say is the inconsistencies with it, because we've seen other incidences where nothing's happened. I can remember Anthony Taylor when Kokova got his hair pulled. I think there was another thing with Semenyo as well. I think the player only got a yellow card or something, or nothing happened. I can't remember. So I think they're trying to clamp down on it. I just want the consistency of it, and Martinez is a fool. Should it have been a red card? It's not violent conduct,
That's what
but
I think.
but by the letter of the law, yeah, okay,
I would have
cool.
personally said it was a yellow card, but at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
but
I can't
yeah, nah.
complain too
The thing
much.
is, you can't give a yellow card for that. It has to
Okay.
be. It has to be a red card. It has to be a red card. Actually, let me phrase that. You can give a yellow for it, but you cause yourself a problem if you do.
Okay.
Because if it happens with other teams, they're
They'll
going to
be
be like,
expecting a yellow.
well, so they had to make an example of it. But yeah, it's stupid from Martinez, and that's how what I'll say about that. But yeah, people, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you think of what happened in the Leeds game. Let us know what you think about the balance of the team. Who have you got? Do you put Bruno back in the midfield if Kobe isn't fit? Is it Mason Mount? Do you play Agate? Who do you play up front? Do you play Sesko? Should it be in Buemo? What do you think the result's going to be? What happens to Chelsea if they lose? What happens to Rafinha? Do you think he's a dead man walking? If they win, does that put him back in the frame of staying there? Because we know Blueco want to keep it in house. Um, and let us know what you think about United. Can they make top 5? Can they make Champions League football? And in doing so in the next 3 games, do you give the job to Michael Carrick? Or if someone better comes available, do you give it to them? We want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up. As I say all the time, share, share, share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. Want to say thank you very much to my guy ST as usual. Thank you very much, sir.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Indeed, indeed. People coming up. Next video coming up. Footy chat. Mr. KA will be here. We will be looking ahead to the big game of the weekend with Arsenal and Manchester City. Also getting his reaction to Bournemouth beating them at home. Also Champions League wrap up, Merseyside derby, and we'll be talking Spurs officially in the relegation zone. Also coming up, you watch this space. There might be something special for you lot coming up. You'll watch this space, but make sure you head over to the Footy chat video which will be coming out just after this one. But listen, people, stay safe out there, be safe, and we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace. Peace.